All right, doing a sound check here. Looks like I got some mic. All right, I can hear myself. Episode 18 starting soon. Here we are. We got some sound going on here. I think so. What's up, everybody? It's been a while. Not too long this time. I think like 2 weeks, right? So, good some of this hot weather for the past couple weeks. Oh man, what have we done? Got a sound check done. Intro video. Still appreciate Verdict, of course. Great song, one of my favorite songs. Period. Got this pop out chat, and I just how'd I put it? I can see you guys' chat while I'm reading down my shit list here. Got a kid with hand, foot, mouth disease, so that's awesome. That's going around our school again. Several children have this. Joe better. Went dove hunting on September 2nd, which was the day after opening day. Did Gage got 2 birds. I think I hit a third one, but I couldn't find it. And then I watched the video later, and it looked like when I hit it, it flew like down and took a hard right. So I'm not sure. It never came back out. Like I got the whole thing on one of them handy cams, whatever the fuck they are. Uh, but yeah, it never came back. So I couldn't find it, and after watching the video, I don't think I walked far enough to my right to see it. But I'm pretty sure I hit 3, but I was able to find 2. That was alright. It was a fun time. I think we went last year and we shot 40. I shot 49 shells and he shot 50, I think, and we brought home 1 bird. So we did way better than that. We probably only got shoot 8 or 10 times. There was not any birds coming to the field at all. It was just rough. Just had the first round of playoffs for NASCAR, and Kyle Larson won. Not only did I have him in my fantasy lineup, I also bet $2 on him, which means I won $10. So that's cool. Free money. I have a commanding lead over Cowboy now. I just stretched it past 250 points, so I'm feeling pretty confident that I should be able to win fantasy NASCAR this year. Did our fantasy football draft. I feel good about my team. I think that it's probably one of the best teams I've drafted. I would say maybe ever, like probably ever in an 8-man league, anyways. Um, it's easier to draft when you got 6-man person. Yeah. So I think I did good in my draft. I want to post that document real quick here. Let's see, chat rules. Yeah. All right. So there is the document. If anybody wants to follow along or back to the stream and figure out where the links are or videos or any of this stuff we're gonna talk about. Got going on. Fantasy football draft. Getting tons of eggs. We're up to getting 13 to 16 eggs a day now from our 26 girls. I don't even think one of them's laying. We got a naked neck, and I don't think she's laying. She's special ed for real. We're getting lots of veggies finally. Probably got maybe a 20 or 30 pounds of beans, I bet. Probably 30 to 40 cucumbers that are all just freaking monsters. Tomatoes, tons of tomatoes sitting out there. Most of them are still pretty green. Our fruit trees are turning, so all the fruits are coming down. Pumpkins are growing. Sunflowers. I did it. I should have made that video down here. I made a little video of the bumblebees, sunflowers, getting in there and getting all nectary. The other night they fell asleep in there too. I don't know if they work until they get exhausted and just fall asleep in there or what, but they. Corn's almost ready. Remember, this is my 3rd time planting the corn this year, so it's definitely got a late start, but it's alright because everybody else already picked most of their sweet corn, and we're gonna have the last crop, so we should have corn longer than anybody else, I hope. Been golfing a lot this year. I've golfed more this year than I probably have in 20 years. Got my game, so we talked. I think 2 weeks ago, I had got 45 on the front 9. Like I maintained that and actually improved. Um, I golfed a 95, so that's for 18. On 18 holes, that's pretty good for me. So my first game that my first full round of 18 holes of the year, I golfed a 110, and now I'm down to 95. So that's 15 strokes I've took off my game over about 6 or 7 rounds of golf. So pretty awesome. I got my new driver in. It's terrible. It's heavy, so heavy. It's like swinging a hammer. It's like you either got to swing it as hard as you can swing it, and then you're hitting good. It's going 280, 290 yards, or just don't swing it hard at all, and it'll still go 250. But anywhere in between there, it's just so uncomfortable. It's so heavy. I don't even like to use it. I don't think. This Sunday coming up, we have our 6th annual 9/11 Memorial Ride for my American Legion post. I'm super excited about it. It's something obviously I do every year. Even we were able to do it through COVID, which was very cool. Some places, some of the bars we went to, wouldn't let you sit, more than 4 to a table or something. Last 2 years ago, I think it was COVID years, right? I don't know. My brain don't work that good, but we're all back to normal now. So hoping to have a good turnout and make some money for our Legion post and our local veterans. The NFL season is upon us. Aaron Rodgers is looking pretty good out there in New York. I'm a Packers fan first and a Jets fan second. You can say what you want, but I've liked both teams since I was a kid. I'm not a bandwagon person. Hold on one second, please. Anyways, like I was saying, I'm not just riding on a bandwagon here. I've watched Chad Pennington Jets. I've got Curtis Martin football cards. I got a Thomas Jones jersey. Got a Brett Favre jersey there. So I don't buy jerseys very often. My next one's probably gonna be a green and white number 8. Um, Packers are still my favorite. I'm not sure that Jordan loves the answer. Uh, Hopefully he's good. I mean, the chances of us going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to another premier quarterback is super thin. So I'm just guessing by percentages that he's not the guy. But obviously I hope the best for him. Hope for our team. You don't ever wish a guy does bad. I never understood about presidents. Like people are like, oh, I hope he gets in there and burns the White House down. Like, why would just because you didn't vote for him? Why would you hope he does a bad job? You should hope that he surprises you. Man, I hope he gets in there and does awesome shit that I never thought he'd be doing. No one's like that. So selfish. Jordy Nelson got inducted into the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, so that's awesome. I said J. Yeah, I don't remember. Josh Sitton. He's been retired long enough. I don't remember. The second I look it up, I'll be like, yeah, that's it. TJ. Got going on. Few, well deserved on their part getting into Packers Hall of Fame. Good thing. I had to school the VA on CDL medical exam. So in order to get a CDL, you have to have an annual exam. President Trump in 2017, I think, signed in a bill. But yeah, I wrote it down here. Very good. So they told me they would not do CDL medical exams. That it was the employer's responsibility. And I'm like, well, I'm my own employer, and you're my insurance company. VA is. So on you. And the lady's like, nope, never heard of it. We don't do it. So I copy pasted the link from the congressional record that shows that Trump signed a bill called Jobs for Our Heroes Act. Sure. And that explicitly states that veterans who are seeking to maintain their CDL can use VA medical CDL, Department of Transportation DOT exam or CDL exam. So she apologized and everything and passed up. I've been seriously, I've been trying to get this exam for like a year and a half now. It's a huge holdup. So that it actually kind of screwed me over on getting my CDL because I had my permit and everything. I couldn't get this exam covered. Get me wrong, I could have went and spent the $200 or whatever it cost just to pay a cash for the exam, but I don't have to. Is the point? Like I've earned this VA care. I've earned the right to have this exam at the VA, and just because they don't know that they're supposed to do it doesn't mean that they're not supposed to do it. You know, like that's what they say. Ignorance is no excuse, right? So I've been fighting them over, and then they changed the laws in February about um the CDL. So now, no matter what age you are, you have to attend a CDL, like a driving school. So that kind of screwed everything up because I had my permit, but at the time then it expired because you have 12 months to get your license after you get your permit. It's good for your permit's good for 12 months. Then you go back and take the driver's test, right? Um, so I had done all that except for the driver's test because most places, uh, like most driving schools, won't let you go take the test, the final exam. They're allowed to administer it. They won't let you take it if you don't have your medical card, and the DMV absolutely won't let you take it if you don't have your medical card. So that was step one before getting any of it. And then, like I said, they kind of beat around the bush long enough to where I was irritated enough, and then they drug it out, and then I drug it out because I procrastinate, and so it just turned into a thing. And then my permit expired. I went back to get my permit renewed. They were like, "Yeah, we don't renew permits anymore. Now you have to attend this 3-week school or whatever it is. It costs thousands of dollars, which of course the VA will reimburse you and all that stuff. But like, it's just I know how to. Hey, welcome in, whoever just signed into my Discord here. Oh, it's me, Shield. What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, man. We're talking about the VA right now. Discussing about how they kind of gave me the runaround on the CDL medical exam. Told me they were watching. You been watching the show?
No, I didn't even get a notification. I was like, wait a minute, there's supposed to be a show, so I just hopped on to make sure.
Welcome in.
Yeah, I'll be there in 2 seconds.
Okay. So basically, um, my CDL permit expired, and then changed the laws in February where you had to go to the school now. So I'm not trying to fight with them over reimbursing me for whatever school cost is. I'm still trying to maybe go. Actually, I got some paperwork done to do pilot school. The VA will pay like up to like it's like 21 or $24,000 a year towards pilot school, which a private pilot's license. So it should cover that. But of course, there's catches with that too. You have to have a commercial pilot's license within 5 years. Just everything's a pain. What else? Oh man, this is got so much history the past 2 weeks. I didn't have any idea. Basically, we're gonna go through some history. I think we're gonna take a break and do got some cool stuff to talk about. This is probably I think the first two entries on here I think are the oldest history I might have put in here. I love history. You might hate it. I hope not. Got a lot of important events that we forget about, and they deserve to be. So, if nothing else, help me grind through this. So we'll stick together for 30 to 45 minutes here and just remember some of the shit that we have taken for granted, that we forget, that a lot of this stuff I mean is the reason we are as a society and as a world where we're at, because great men and women doing great things throughout our history. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite topics in the whole world, and that's Rome. So September 2nd, in the year 31 BC, the Roman legions under Augustus Caesar defeated Mark Antony's naval force at Actium. This is prior to his um, retreat down to Egypt, where actually Petra die or kill themselves or poison themselves as they thought they did, or whatever Romeo that story that was. August 24th, 79 AD. Mount Vesuvius, an active volcano in southern Italy, erupted and destroyed the cities of Pompeii, Thebae, and Herculaneum. So there's a documentary series, I think it's a series, on excavating Pompeii, and there are people still curled up in like fetal position, covered in ash, that just they were either burnt to death or suffocated because when the volcano exploded, it just dumped pounds of ash everywhere. Um, Yeah, that's pretty cool to see. I mean, it's terrible, obviously, but it's neat to see how perfectly preserved these bodies are. They still got skin on them. Obviously, it's super dried out and burnt, but like families inside of their house that just were here 1 minute and gone the next when this thing erupted. September 4th, 1609, the island of Manhattan was discovered by navigator Henry Hudson. Guessing they named the Hudson River after him. Maybe he got to pick the. September 1st of 1715, the Sun King, King 14th of France, died. He had ruled since the age of 5 and was succeeded by his 5-year-old great-grandson. So there is a series on King. A lot of people think he named himself the Sun King, that wasn't a platonic nickname, that he chose it, but claimed some sort of tendency. I think he was in power for a while. I think he lived to be 40 or something. But yeah, anyways, he's known for creating the great vacation home at Marseille, I believe. I know he had the Hall of Light, which it was like a 30-foot tall atrium of glass where it was just glass and gold and marble, and so the sun shined through the glass and lit up. September 2nd, 1752, the British ended their use of the Julian calendar. This one's hilarious. So the Julian calendar was placed by um, he hired a Greek astronomer to come figure out the stars and accurately place the calendar, right? So it's called the Julian calendar. And the Julian calendar was 365 days long. Well, a real year is 365 and a quarter. Every 4 years we get an extra day to calendar again. So the British ended their use of the Julian calendar, switching instead to the Gregorian calendar, resulting in a major adjustment as Wednesday, September 2nd was followed by Thursday, September 14th. The correction resulted in rioting by people who felt cheated and demanded missing 11 days. Yeah, that would be weird. Sure. Days, a lot could happen. That's 11 days without crime, though. Think about that. There was no criminal records for September 4th, 1781. Los Angeles was founded by the Spanish governor of California, Felipe de Neve, near the site of the Native American village of Yangna. The original name was El Pueblo de la Reina de los Angeles, also known as the Town of the Queen of Angels. I'm glad they shortened that to Los. September 2nd, 1789, the third presidential cabinet department of the U.S. Treasury was established by Congress. Ignore that. We're at shows. Should be watching my bastard. August 25th, 1814. During the War of 1812, Washington, D.C. was invaded by British forces that burned the Capitol, the White House, and most other public buildings, along with a number of private homes. The burning was in retaliation from an earlier American burning in New York, also known as Toronto nowadays. September 3rd, 1838. Anti-slavery leader Frederick Douglass began his escape from slavery by boarding a train in Baltimore dressed as a sailor. He rode to Wilmington, Delaware, where he caught a steamboat to the city of Philadelphia, then trained to New York City, where he came under the protection of the Crown River Network. September 2nd, 1864, during the American Civil War, Atlanta was captured by Sherman's army. Quote, Atlanta is ours and fairly won, end quote. That's what General William Tecumseh Sherman telegraphed to President Lincoln. I don't know if you guys remember learning about William Tecumseh Sherman. Probably in our first 4 episodes, did a little bit on him. His father named him Tecumseh after Chief Tecumseh. September 2nd, 1870, Napoleon III surrendered to the Prussians during the Battle of Sedan, resulting in the fall of the Second French Empire. August 26th, 1883, one of the most catastrophic volcanic eruptions in recorded history occurred on the Indonesian island of Krakatoa. Explosions were heard 2,000 miles away. Tidal waves 120 foot high killed 36,000 persons in nearby islands, while 5 cubic miles of earth were blasted into the air up to a height of 50 miles. So I've heard of, like when I read this, I heard of the name Krakatoa, right? I knew that was the island. I didn't know that this explosion or this volcanic eruption was here. The explosions were heard 2,000 miles away. Tidal waves killed 36,000 people. That's astronomical. Isn't it, babe? She's not paying attention. She's not even watching. She's in the room with me, not even watching my show. That's the kind of shit I deal with over here. September 4th, 1886, the last major U.S.-Indian war came to an end as Geronimo was captured. He died of natural causes in 1909 at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Fort Sill is now the home of the orders that train all of the bordermen in the army, maybe artillery, definitely more. August 18th, 1920, the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified, granting women the right to vote. How dumb was that? Not listening. September 2nd, 1923, so 100 years ago, the first elections were held in the Irish Free State after achieving independence from Britain. Irish Free State, the whole island's not free. They still got the Northern Ireland and IRA shit over there. August 19th, 1934, in Germany, a something plebiscite, no idea, was held in which 89.9% of German voters approved granting Chancellor Adolf Hitler additional powers, including the office of president. Well, that was dumb. Now we know that. September 1st, 1939, at 5:30 a.m., Hitler's armies invaded Poland, starting World War II in Europe. So yeah, 5 years later, they gave him president, and then 5 years later, he said. 2 days later, Great Britain and France declared war on Nazi Germany after invasion of August 17, 1943. During World War II in Europe, the Allies completed the conquest of the island of Sicily after just 38 days. This gave the Allies control of the Mediterranean and also led to the downfall of Benito Mussolini and Italy's eventual withdrawal from the war. However, the Germans managed to evacuate 39,569 troops, 47 tanks, 94 heavy guns, over 9,000 vehicles, and 2,000 tons of ammunition back to the Italian mainland. I wonder who counted that. Counted 39,500. September 3rd, 1943, so 2 weeks later, Italy signed an armistice with the Allies during World War II in Europe as the British 8th Army, commanded by General Bernard Montgomery, invaded the Italian mainland. September 2nd, 1945, President Harry Truman declared VJ Day, which is Victory over Japan Day, commemorating the formal Japanese surrender to the Allies aboard the USS Missouri Bay. I feel like a couple of weeks we talked about the day, right? Victory Day. At some point. September 2nd, 1945, Ho Chi Minh proclaimed the independence of Vietnam and the establishment of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. So on the 2nd of September, 1945, we declared victory over Japan. Same day, Ho Chi Minh declares independence of Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh's a trail Vietnam War, I know. Hey, yeah, laughing at cowbell. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. August 21st, 1959, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a proclamation admitting Hawaii to the Union as the 50th state. Their star, I typed this. Their star on the U.S. flag was debuted on July 4th, 1960. So I got an argument the other day with my uncle about this. I said that we added the 50th star on July 4th, 1960. We did. Who was that? I said Hawaii. Like, no, Hawaii became a state in 1959. And so we were both right. September 2nd, 1962, Soviet Russia agreed to send arms to Cuba, leading to the October Missile Crisis after the shipments were discovered by you. They call it October Crisis. Talk about the right? That's what us Americans call it. August 28th, 1963, March on Washington occurred as over 200,000 persons attended a civil rights rally in Washington, D.C., at which Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. made his now famous I Have a Dream speech. Could you imagine if we marched on the Capitol with 250,000 people? They would be having a fit. And we would be racist, for the record. August 15th, 1969, Woodstock began in the field near Yasgur's Farm in Bethel, New York. The three-day concert featured 24 rock bands and drew a crowd of more than 300,000 young people. The event came to symbolize the counterculture movement in 1960. September 1st, 1969, military officers overthrew the Libyan government. Libyan Arab Republic was then proclaimed under Colonel Muammar Gaddafi. So anybody who follows any modern um, Middle Eastern wars knows the name Gaddafi. Sure. August 16th, 1977, Elvis Presley was pronounced dead at the Memphis Baptist Hospital at age 42. I got a haircut in the same chair that Elvis Presley got his first Army haircut. In fact, September 1st, 1983, Korean Airlines Flight 007 was shot down by a Russian fighter jet while en route from New York to Seoul, killing all 269 persons on board. Boeing 747 reportedly strayed 100 miles off course over secret Soviet-Russian military installations on the Kamchatka Peninsula and the Sakhalin Island. It crashed in the Sea of Japan. The Soviet Union found the wreckage under the sea 2 weeks later on September 15th and found the flight recorder in October. This information was kept secret by the Soviet authorities after the country collapsed. A 45-minute docu-film can be seen at this link, which is in that document. I'll watch it. It's a really good one. That's actually why I put this in here, is because I did watch um, a show called Air Disasters on TV, and they talk. It's kind of like a minute by minute replay of what they think happened, because they have the black boxes and stuff now, so they know all the radio transmissions that happened. And it looked like, for whatever reason, the plane did stray 100 miles. It says, yeah, 100 miles. Um, and then just never showed up. And the dude, so I'm trying to think. I think the guy who actually ended up reporting, the air traffic controller who actually ended up reporting the plane missing or something, had like come on shift halfway through it being missing. So it had not made radio contact for X amount of minutes. And then at shift change, the dude handed off like, oh, and by the way, we haven't heard from uh, Korean Airlines 007 yet. Contact, and I'm like, yeah. It's a real deal, and they really got shot down and killed 270 people, 269 people. August 25th, 1985, Samantha Smith died in an airplane crash in Maine. In 1982, the 11-year-old American schoolgirl had written a letter to Soviet Russia's leader, Yuri Andropov, asking, why do you want to conquer the whole world, or at least our country? To her surprise, Andropov replied personally to her and offered her an all-expenses-paid trip to the USSR. Russia for 2 weeks amid worldwide publicity and came to symbolize American and Russian hopes. I don't know anything about that story, but I found that pretty fascinating. That an 11-year-old would write the president a letter and then get a personal invite over there. I mean, that's pretty on his part, right? August 19th, 1991, Soviet hardline communists staged a coup, temporarily removing Mikhail Gorbachev from power. Failed. Within 72 hours, Democratic reformer Boris Yeltsin rallied the Yeltsin then became the leading power in the country. The Communist Party was soon banned, and by December, the Soviet Union itself did. Talked about all coming down. Show as well. I remember them selling. Um, oh, that's Germany. We talked about East and West Germany. So from this, um, from the Soviet collapse, there was a huge concert called Monsters of Rock Moscow, I believe, in 1990 in September, and it was it was it, I think they estimated that the crowd was like 500,000 people. It is literally people as far as you could see, and it was just everybody celebrating freedom from oppression for the first time probably in most of their lives. But there was army there, like Russian army, USSR, Soviet army, like everybody's there just having a good time, and it's a really awesome video. Look that up, Monsters Rock Moscow. August 29th, so this is 10 days later. August 29th, 1991. Following the unsuccessful coup August 19th, the Soviet Communist Party was suspended and thus ending the institution that ruled Soviet Russia for nearly 75 years. Alright there, Meat Shield. When you get back, find us that Monsters of Rock video. I think August 31st. So this is all the viewers should be old enough to. August 31st, 1997. Britain's Princess Diana died at age 36 from massive internal injuries suffered from a high-speed car crash, reportedly after being pursued by photographers. The crash occurred shortly after midnight in Paris inside a tunnel along the Seine River at Point del Alma Bridge. less than half a mile north of the Eiffel Tower. Also killed in the crash were Diana's companion, Dodie Fade, 42, and chauffeur Henry Paul. A fourth person in the car, bodyguard Trevor Reese Jones, was seriously injured. I very clearly happened because I had never heard of Princess Di before. I was like, let's see, I would have been 11, I think. So I wasn't up with world politics. I didn't care about that. I didn't know that there was a royal family and that everybody was in love with them or that crap. But yeah. So like, all of a sudden, like my grandma, my mom's crying, my aunts are crying, everybody's crying, like, oh my god, Princess Di died. I never understood the big hoo-ha about it. Yeah, I remember clearly. That was the only thing on TV for a month. I swear to God, they like her funeral had a million people there, and it was a massive deal. I learned more about her in that week than I know about her now probably. August 17th, 1998, Bill Clinton became the first sitting president to give testimony before a grand jury in which he, the president, was the focus of the investigation. This resulted from a sweeping investigation of the president by independent counsel Ken Starr, as well as a private lawsuit concerning alleged sexual harassment by Clinton before he became president. In the evening, President Clinton appeared on national television and gave a speech admitting he had engaged in an improper relationship with White House intern. This occurred several months after a much publicized relations with Frank Kelly. All right, man, that's a lot of history. Uh, Normally we would do some like veteran spotlights now. That only took 40 minutes, 30 minutes to do. I talked fast. We need to get a co-host in here to stretch some of this shit out. You just can't hear me give history lessons for now. Boring. I know it drives you all crazy. Veteran spotlights. We need to get some veteran spotlights, man. If you know somebody, if you got a cousin, an uncle, a brother, your brother's uncle's cousin, whatever, they'll just make us a short 30-second clip. They're not gonna like paparazzi's not gonna come hunt these people down and force them to do interviews or bottom in a grocery bar. Just it's for education. It's to show people if this show ever gets more than X amount of viewers. If we ever get famous, like show people the normal veterans, the ones that aren't they don't get invited to every football game at Soldier Field, that aren't holding the flags at NASCAR or whatever. Like regular ass people. What I want. Get in some submissions. Help doing it. I've asked everyone I could think of. Well, due to the large amount of history that we covered, and this is going to be a short show, so I'm going to call it halfway done now at 5:45. We're going to go ahead and do our break now if I can find my break. There it is, yeah. I wanted to do the national parks, so we started doing the national park break videos, right? I wanted to do the national parks chronologically, and then I learned that not all national lands are called national parks. So national parks are just like, if you like Google national parks, you're gonna come up with 63 names, and they're like Yosemite, Yellowstone, Hoya, Redwood, Great Lake, whatever. But they're all actually like parks that you can walk in and hike in. So this one is a national military park up on that list. So I'm trying to add them all in. I've actually contacted the National Park Service to see if I can get a chronological list on what order all of the national lands, because there's Army Corps of Engineer lands, there's like memorial battlefields and stuff that don't fall into the national park bracket of classification. So that's what I'm trying to get. Anyways, this one does fit right in behind Yosemite, which ago as the third actual founded park. Right? It's not a national park; it's a military park. I figured with the amount of Civil War history covered this month, because the show and then the last show was pretty heavy too. What better than the first national military park ever founded? Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park. So, while we watch this video and take a little break, we're going to learn about, and that's Chickamauga and Chattanooga Park.
stretching from the top to the bottom. They put up a defense. They may halt the troops in front of them, but then they've got an assault coming here, or they've got an assault coming there, and the line simply barrels around. Well, imagine that 2,200-man Union division sweeping north on the side of the mountain. Look up the slope. You can see the rock up there. How far is it above us? Not all that far. And as Confederates sweep across the ground here, they put fire down in this direction from up on the hill slope above.
That was Chickamauga and Chattanooga 150th anniversary. Did like something like that. I'm sure they do probably a lot of. I'm particularly intrigued with this park for this reason. I'm read DC. I've typed some of this. I've copy pasted some of it. I included the riser or plagiarism. In September of 1889, 10,000 Confederate veterans descended the battlefield. This time they came not as enemies of the United Country. This blue and gray barbecue, as it's called, sparked the idea to create a national park. 1890 battlefields of President Benjamin Harrison signed the designation into 5 years before it was conferred. Civil War veterans led by Henry Van Ness Boynton and Ferdinand Vanderveen. Legislation inspired by fervent patriotism and desire for commemoration, by the theme veterans from at least 7 veterans of Chickamauga served in Congress and passage of the legislation. In 1895, veterans returned again for the park dedication. Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military creation operation established a precedent, establishing sites throughout the nation. Much of its early history, the park was administered by the award of the Spanish-American War and World War II. The Army used the park as a training for thousands. In 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed an executive order service. So, how like awesome and weird is so in September of 1889, 1,000 Union and Confederate veterans united. But this time they're all just American. I don't know, that idea in itself just it gives me chills. Like I couldn't imagine going back to face the people you fought, except they're you. At the time, they're white men your same age, maybe your cousins, maybe guys you went to high school with, or played basketball against. I mean, I don't know, and it'd just be crazy. And then back together. I bet that was so imperative to the healing process, not only of the veterans, but guys to me. And obviously, it set a great precedent. Now we have a lot of battlefield national military. That whole deal is awesome and interesting and stuff. All the stuff, all the thing. That's where that was founded before the National Park Service even. That's why the War Department. But it was even before Gettysburg, which Gettysburg's on the list, and then Shiloh is also on the list of upcoming national military. I just gotta figure out the order. It's hard. Anybody wants to help? Anybody got some spare time? Do some research. Find out what order our parks are done. It's rough. So, we've done the history. Talked about our Civil War battlefield turned into a national military park. The first. Now we're gonna go over some birthdays from the past couple of weeks. First one, August 15th, is Napoleon Bonaparte, right? Just talked about the talked about it. Napoleon, yeah. 1870, the third surrender. Same guy. Okay. That would be had to be Bonaparte's great grandson, junior, third grandson. I didn't even know over France. Tried. Now I gotta do more research on that. See what happens. I'm in a rabbit hole now. Here we go. Anyways, Napoleon Bonaparte. That's the Napoleon we all know. So earlier when I said Napoleon III, that's got to be his. August 15th, Napoleon was born on the island of Corsica. Originally an officer in King's army, he chaos that followed the French. Built a 500,000 strong Grand Army which utilized newly modern tactics and improvisation in battle to sweep across Europe, acquire an empire of France. However, after defeat by Russia and later by the British, he was exiled on St. Helena, Africa. May 5th, 1821, he died alone on the tiny island by everyone. I believe he was exiled twice, right? He got exiled at Elba, I think, and then I think he got exiled to the island of Alba and then rescued, right? Or attempted to rescue or something, and like got brought back and then got definitely exiled till he died. St. Helena. That's what I think. Ah, shit, I don't know. Someone needs to type in chat here. I'm the only one talking in chat. What else we got? August 16th. T.E. Lawrence, also known as Lawrence of Arabia, born in Tremadoc, North Wales. He led an Arab revolt against the Turks during World War I and served as a spy for the British. He was killed in a motorcycle accident at Dorset, England on May 19th, 1945. What do you call someone from Welsh? Hey, what do you call someone from Wales? Is it Welsh? Like Welch's grape jam? Is that from Wales? Welsh is something. Dutch is a thing. Is it what Mate Shield says Welsh? Alright. I think makes sense. That's what I think it is. Oh, he says he's guessing too. Yeah, I'm guessing. I know one of those things, like Dutch people aren't from that, they're special, right? They're not from there's no look up Dutch. See what that is. Okay, so from Wales they're called Welsh, right? See what Dutch is. That's weird. They're not from the country of Duits or something. They're from Netherlands. Check that for my own knowledge. Yep, I got that right. August 17th. Hey, I was 2 for 2 on that one. August 17th. American frontiersman Davy Crockett was born in Hawkins County, Tennessee. He was a farmer, scout, and a politician who perished at age 49 during the final heroic defense of the Alamo. So, the smartest man I've ever met, my 6th grade teacher, his name was Frank Lodka. And we could, back then we could play dodgeball. I don't know if they'll play it, but it was ruthless. The 8th grade pitcher threw the ball at your head as hard as he could, and vice versa. But whenever you were the last one on your team, you would be on the sidelines, as the teacher or whatever. And we did PE most of the time was just with our class, like your regular class teacher. Have a PE necessarily, but yeah, he always sang a song to us whenever you're the last one on your dodgeball team. He would, Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. I don't know if that's a real song or if he just made it up, but either way, it's hilarious. That's where I learned who Davy Crockett was from that man. Died of Alzheimer's with dementia. So how ironic is that the smartest guy I ever knew died not remembering anything? Sucks. Terrible. August 18th, American explorer Meriwether Lewis was born near Charlottesville, Virginia. Along with William Clark, he explored the American West and in 1805, after a journey of over 18 months, reached the Pacific Ocean. So you've heard of Lewis and Clark? That is August 19th, aviation pioneer Orville Wright was born in Dayton, Ohio. In 1903, Orville and his brother Wilbur achieved the world's first successful sustained and controlled flight of a motor-driven aircraft, following years of experimentation with kites and gliders. 18 months of traveling at that time, you gotta think, I mean, that's probably by horse, and I know a lot of back in the day, they did not ride their horses a lot. Horses carried a lot of their shit, and they would walk their horses, not wear them. Like all the Western movies you see where a dude just gets on a horse and beats the shit out of it and rides at 40 miles an hour for an hour and a half, that's fake. Way fake. Like a horse can only sprint for like 15 minutes, That's why the Pony Express, actually we talked about the Pony Express on this show too. This show's fantastic. You guys need to watch it more. I think they only rode for like 25 miles or something. They switched horses, and that's, there was so many stations across the country. But yeah, 18 months, maybe with a wagon, maybe with an ox, who knows? I don't know. There's only 10 Americans these days that aren't soft enough. They're hard enough to like what? Stop at McDonald's. Also, the same birthday as Mr. Overwright is Bill Clinton, the 42nd U.S. president. We talked about him, but testified against himself. Shit. He was born in Hope, Arkansas in 1946. He was the first U.S. president elected who was not alive during World War. That is a fact. That I did there. August 20th, Benjamin Harrison, the 23rd U.S. president, was born in North Bend, Ohio, grandson of William Henry Harrison, 9th president. Again, to me, that's a super interesting thing. So the grandson of a president's president, just like was Jefferson's, right? Wasn't Jefferson and his son both president, like 3rd and 9th or something? Not 9th, obviously. 3rd and 8th or something. But there's 2 other fathers and son, or father and grandson, whatever. August 27th, Lyndon Baines Johnson, also Johnson, 36 U.S. president, born near Stonewall, Texas. He ascended to his presidency upon the assassination of John F. Kennedy, November 22nd, 1960. Served January 29. August 27th, Teresa as Agnes Gangsha Bojangshu. Bojangshu. Whoa. Yeah, somebody pronounce that one for me. In Slavia. They aren't good with hard letters. Not translated at all. She founded a religious order of the nuns in Calcutta, India, called the Missionaries of Charity, and spent her life working to help the poor and sick of India. September 1st. Everybody knows this guy. Yeah, pronounce that shit, Meat Shield. You can type it. Say it out loud. I want to hear it in voice chat. Oh, you're in here still. September 1st, boxing champ Rocky Marciano was born in Brockton, Massachusetts as Rocco Francis Marchigiano. Okay. Machiavelli, so it's probably a K. Marchigiano. I have no idea either. And see, he chose Marciano. He fought Jersey Joe Wokal for the heavyweight title on September 23rd of 1952 and knocked him out. In 1950, he retired as the only heavyweight champion. He died in a plane crash in 1969. And that's all we got for birthdays. So I'm going to have me a little sip here. I'm getting cotton mouth while talking. Upcoming events for veterans and first responders. I'm going to copy this link and put it in the damn chat because I feel like no one ever clicks it. If I just say it's in the document, it's not happening. Click that link, put in your state, your area code, your city, whatever, and you can find, if you're a veteran, you can find things for you. If you're a civilian, you can find ways to help veterans. Do it. It's something that can help everyone. Constitution education is normally what we talk about right now. We haven't really done that, but a few times I did not put forth the effort this week to dig up any Constitution stuff. What I was going to do, talking about the 18th Amendment, which 19th Amendment, the 18th Amendment, which let women vote. Hey, what's up, Meat Shield? Hear you in here.
Boy, a Jew.
Boy, a Jew?
Yes.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That is pronunciation. I looked it up.
There's an X in there.
Yeah, don't ask me. There's also a bunch of letters after it. I just looked it up. That's all.
It's like that sauce you put on your Italian beef. Boy, a Jew. Got it. But anyways, click the link. Help veterans. See if you can help other veterans. Good thing, man. We all just can't sit in our house and call ourselves streamers. Introvert. Do something. Let's do something together. I have a big event coming up, and that is our 6th annual September 11th Memorial Ride. Here, get your tickets right there. I designed myself. Pretty proud of that. So, they're see it or not? Why not? Anyways,
yeah, you can see them.
They're $20 a piece. Even if you don't ride, even if you don't want to show up, help, donate money. If you ain't got a motorcycle and you want to follow us in your car, your truck, that'd be great. The last ride we did one on Memorial Day, and one of our bikes broke down. Dude broke a chain. So thank God that my wife was driving behind us in my pickup. We were able to lift the motorcycle into the truck and continue the ride. We didn't have to leave it behind, which was fantastic. But need help with everything. If you want to donate money for, buy somebody's lunch. If you want to donate t-shirts, if you own a company and you want to donate a t-shirt, it's all needed to. But I started this thing myself, and literally it's just pretty much me and my wife who do all of everything. Arrange it. This is actually the first year that the Post has had enough money to pay for everything up front. The first 5 years I've paid for everything out of pocket and then reimbursed myself what was needed out of what money we paid from the ride. So this is the first year our Post has had enough money to actually pay for the gift card and all that stuff up front, which is fantastic. So we're making progress. We're getting better. The proceeds from this event, this American Legion posts are the most impactful way to help your veterans. Period. There's, we all see the advertisements for 22 a day, or there's a million things out there. 9-line clothing and black coffee rifles and stuff like that, and they'll give some of their proceeds to veterans. And I'm not saying that they don't, but bang for your buck wise, efficiency wise, this is the best way to get help to a veteran. So what our Post does, Meat Shield, that's how much they were again. They're $20. $20, and so what we do. Remind me to finish about the tickets. I'm gonna finish what I was talking about first. Sidetrack now, Meat Shield. So the money that we make from this goes into our Post bank account, and this is money that basically we don't have to have anyone's permission to spend on the thing. So we just get together as a post, which there's only about 5 members in that post. It's super small, and we can do whatever we want with our money. So, like there'll be a parade coming up, like Harvest Days, right? It's a big thing from where we're from. We'll have people walk in the Harvest Days parade, 4 or 5 of us members. We'll spend $20 on candy to throw to the kids, right? Or if we need to get a new flag because our flag is getting tattered, we don't believe in flying worn, faded, or tattered flags. So we'll buy a new flag. That a 6x8 flag could be $150. Get that. We do parade gloves, which are the white gloves we do when we're holding the rifles and all that stuff, for funerals. We buy our members new hats. They call them cunt caps. They're like the old sailors' cats that look like a vagina on the top. They call it a cunt cap, really. Called, but and those purchases aren't very often. The best thing we do with our money. This is so every month we have a meeting and we talk about how much money we have spent. We're gonna spend. So like last month we paid a veteran's rent. He was short, couldn't make it happen, and we paid $700 for his rent. That $700 came from this ride. Last year we made like $1,000 or something on the ride, whatever it was. I don't remember exactly, but that $700 came from events like this, from events like our rides, and that's you talk about how much of the money from donations for Wounded Warrior Project or Day or Mission 2, stuff like that. That's all clickbait in my mind, for real. I heard me bitch and moan about those organizations for a long time on here, and I still feel that way because if you're gonna put $20 in a veteran's life, put $20 on this ride, put $20 in your local American Legion. That is where it is the most felt and the most impactful. So, anyways, we're having this ride. Tickets are $20. It's noon on Sunday, September 10th. I always do it on whatever Sunday is closest to September 11th because it's also usually opening day of the NFL. So a lot of people have a lot of the motorcycle riders that I know are in clubs, right? And they have a big ride every Saturday before September 11th. Like most big rides are on Saturdays, and so when I started this, I was competing with another huge ride in the area. So I didn't want to do Saturday. I wanted to do Sunday, and then plus, if I show up to the ride Saturday with a bunch of tickets, hey guys, come help veterans tomorrow. Hopefully I'm getting a bigger pool. And every year since its inception, it's gotten bigger. We've got more money, more donations. Actually, while we're here, I'll give Stars Rock Harley Davidson a shout out. Every single year they've donated us something. So I go to them, I buy a $100 gift card for the winner of the ride. We throw dice, which I don't have any of the dice here right now. We throw dice. It's basically like a poker run, except for poker runs are illegal for whatever reason. I don't know. So we throw dice. You go to a stop, you throw dice, and we give the $100 gift card to the winner of the dice game. We have 5 stops, highest total wins. Get the $100 gift card, and then Stars Rock Harley Davidson started donating us stuff to either use for a silent. We did a silent auction one year. They gave us, what did they give us, babe? We had one was a motorcycle helmet Bluetooth. Remember that thing, the Harley Davidson helmet, but it was a Bluetooth speaker. They did a whiskey decanter and glasses was one. What else have they given us? They did T-shirts one year. They gave us like 3 T-shirts and those beer huggies. Remember? Um, they're just a huge help. Every single year they give us something, anything for veterans. Pretty much, Harley Davidson will help you with. They love veterans, but anybody watching that could be any help to that, it's so appreciated. Like I said, you can do anything between following us or buying somebody lunch or paying for somebody's or what we did for Memorial Day was it was a kind of an impromptu ride. I don't know if I know we did a show right. I think right before or right after. I don't remember. But no, actually we did the Memorial Day special where me and my family went out and put flags on the graves of every veteran from our area. So I also did an impromptu ride like this on Memorial Day, and we had businesses from the area sponsor us per mile. So didn't really know how long we wanted to ride. We just knew we wanted to ride. Me and a group of buddies, and we ended up having like 8 bikes, and we did 108 miles. So like one of my buddies' businesses donated $1 a mile. He gave us $108. Like that's huge. My cousin's bar did 50 cents a mile. He donated $54, which it's huge. 54. You get 4 or 5 businesses donate $50 or $100 a piece, and and you're starting to really make an impact in some veterans' lives. Like I said, paying their rent, paying their electric bills. We do groceries a lot too. Buy a lot of veterans groceries, and it's not always, we might get them $80 or $120 in groceries for a month, but at Aldi's, that's quite a bit of groceries, and especially for someone who absolutely needs it and for free, like it's a huge help. So please help me help veterans. Cheers. Shout out to Captain Hall for turning me on to Benchmark whiskey. It's very delicious. Oh, what else we got on here? Oh, speaking of the American Legion, they got a new national commander, Dan Seehafer. Has to be on Seehafe. So good luck to him. It's not the guy that Cowboy met anymore, so I don't know what happened there. They did not come out with an article or anything. They just said that he's a new national commander, and they will come out with their article Tuesday following Labor Day. So expect news on that next week, I guess. I'm going to try to get back to doing a show every week. It's been a hot, hard summer, so I've been trying to do every other week. But obviously, losing one of our hosts, big deal. That really changed the pace of everything and puts all of the legwork on me. So it's not a guarantee it's going to be every other week either. Pardon me, but I'm going to try to do one next Monday for sure. Next Monday is September 11th, the 22nd anniversary of the attacks on the country. So for guys like me, it's probably a huge day because I always knew I wanted to serve, but I wasn't mad about it until that happened. Then I was like, okay, sign me up tomorrow. I signed up when I was 17. Get me out of here. Damage. Someone's got to pay. I love President Bush's reaction to that. Like, whenever a convo about what meat shield. I'm not a good reminder, man. Send yourself a text or something. Oh, okay. I will. I will here every week. What are talking about? Okay. Now you have to remind me what I was talking about. Brain fart.
Yeah, I'm horrible.
Terrible.
I don't remember either.
Oh man. I'm trying to replay. Oh, September 11th attack. So I always wanted to join the military, right? Like whenever I was growing up, I was like 5 years old, watching the Desert Storm footage on TV, the night vision of all the tracers and the bombs blowing up and shit. I'm like, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I thought I wanted to be a train engineer, but I'm like, I seen that shit. I'm like, that's it. It's right there. But I wasn't mad until September 11th happened. Then I knew for sure, sign me up and get me out. Like I was so dumb when I signed up. I didn't even know what I was signing up for. Like I went to a recruiter. Well, first I went to a Marine because they, obviously the Marine station, and talked to him about signing up. And he's like, "Yep, go ahead. Here, sign this paper right now." And I'm like, "Well, I'm a minor. I should probably talk to my parents, and you should probably talk to my parents. I'm sure they're gonna have to sign something, Um, talked to the Navy. I wasn't really sure what the Navy did. Obviously, everybody's heard of the Navy SEALs. Like, I knew the branches of the military, but the only person I ever knew who served was I have a grandpa and a cousin. My cousin was in the, and so that's why that was the first go. Shout out Mark. And my grandpa who was in the Army and the Navy. So weird as that sounds, I'll get you all the story on that someday. But my grandpa died when I was 3, so I never really got to talk to him about it. I never knew the ins and outs of the military. I just knew there were several different branches. And I guess I had a great uncle, in the Coast Guard, retired from the Coast Guard, and I always thought the Coast Guard was awesome. So I talked to Coast Guard, Marines, Army, Navy. Army, but what? And National Guard. Army National Guard is what I meant. I don't even think I talked to an active duty Army guy. So I was able to talk to all of them, and basically my question to every single recruit is, can you get me to Iraq? Or overseas. At the time, 2003 is when I signed up. We were in Iraq and Afghanistan. Can you get me overseas? And the Coast Guard's like, it's really not what we do. So that was kind of out right away. And I kind of thought I could use that as a back burner, like after I got out of active duty or my deployments or whatever, I could go to the Coast Guard because I always thought they just had a cool job. And then the Navy, kind of talked to that guy about Navy and being combat arms. They don't have a combat arms. They have the SEALs, and that's it. So like if you're in the Navy, you either have to be a corpsman, which is a fucking medic on steroids, right? Like a almost like a surgical doctor in the field. Um, I don't want to be a corpsman. I want to shoot shit and blow shit up. So that wasn't gonna work. And the Marines had this super long training process, and it's they only train people at infantry at 2 different places, you know, Paris Island and yeah, whatever the other place is. Anyways, and it didn't seem like transfer was easy. And the National Guard recruiter told me I remember this sentence to the day. He said, if you sign up for the National Guard, you can transfer to any National Guard unit in the country, any active duty Army unit in the country, or any Army Reserve unit in the country, as long as your commander signs off on it. So he said, as far as getting you overseas, the quickest, I'm your guy. You can go to any unit you want. And he's like, so I had at the time I was on court supervision shit. Got a retention NCO, take me to the courthouse. Literally, they threw the shit in the garbage. Not literally. I don't know why I say literally. I mean it, but they talked to a judge, got my record expunged, and cleared so I could join. I joined and went to basic training, and see, I graduated basic training November 11th, 2004, and I got my orders to go overseas January. I had to report to my duties January 1st. So that's a month and a half, give or take, right? From graduation to deployed with the National Guard. I did have to transfer units, just like the dude said. So when I graduated basic, I went to my unit, and the unit that I had signed up to, infantry. How about Cody's infantry is Cap Geiger, East Coast, and Camp Pendleton. That's what I was thinking of. Pendleton. Okay. What's Paris Island? My team leader in Iraq, the former Marine. Oh, boot camp is Paris Island. Yeah, he had Paris Island tattooed on his arm, and it only had one R in it. And I said, hey, Marine, don't you know that Paris Island has 2 R's? He said, you don't think I fucking know that? 2 push-ups. I'm like, damn, I should open my mouth. Yeah. Yeah, San Diego's where my buddy Dustin went. He ended up being a Marine. Army calls it RISTA, RSTA. I think you guys just call it STA, right? Stay platoon. Glad you're still here. How you doing? I'm excited for your show tomorrow, man. I know for a fact Melissa's gonna watch it. Cody, the guy who painted our firefighter in your birthday painting, I helped him set up his stream the other night. Remember? That's him. That's the painter. So, going to stream Bob Ross painting. Yeah, watching that for sure. Surveillance and target acquisition. Yeah, and so it's the same thing as Army, except we just call it, you guys call it stay, we call it RISTA, which is reconnaissance, surveillance, and target acquisition. Exact same thing. That's what I did in Afghanistan. Yeah, dude, we're pumped for your stream. I need to get your word out there on Discord and shit. Yeah, some servers are. I know a lot of people. Dude, that whenever you painted my old lady's painting, sent me that 30-second time lapse. It was amazing. Like that was, I think, honestly, was as cool seeing the time lapse of you painting it as getting the painting. Like her and I both love Bob Ross anyways, so no matter what, getting anything that looks like his painting, we both loved. But it was her birthday present, so like when she opened it, she's like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And I was like, "Wait, there's more. Check out this video." And I got to show her the video of you painting it, and it was just an awesome experience. And it's still hanging. It's right in our living room. Literally, it's everybody sees it. And I don't know if I told you now, but the firefighter one you did for my American Legion post, I bought it back. I made sure I was the high bidder. So not only did you make our post some money, but I got that painting. I was like, I don't care how much I got to pay. So it was awesome. But yeah, we're all excited in this household for your show. Heat Shield sounds like too. So I gotta move on with my show now. What were we talking about? We did September 11th, how I joined the
Recruiter talking
military.
to him.
Yeah, recruiter. And so, yeah, that's the lot of the that's the long and the short of it is how I joined the National Guard. Is I didn't really give a shit what branch I was in. The National Guard recruiter said that he could get me overseas the fastest due to all the transfer rights, and so that's what I did. I transferred, went on 18-month deployment to Baghdad, came home, transferred back to my unit, which had then um, they had gone from infantry to Rista, which is what I'm talking about, recon, surveillance, and target. It's basically a scout sniper, right? Um, it's your only two options, and so I had to go spend a summer in Idaho for that school. Did that, came home and went right back to Afghanistan basically. And I spent like out of my 6.5 years in, I spent 4.5 years active, which is longer than your first active duty contract. I think when you sign up for active duty. So I know a lot of people talk shit about the nasty girls and the weekend warriors and the nasty guard and whatever, but off I had a and Cowboy, you'll like this. I don't think I ever told you this. So not only did I earn my combat infantryman's badge um in Baghdad, I also was personally awarded a combat action ribbon from the Marine general that was on base, and given the paperwork to where I can wear that Marine combat action ribbon on my uniform. And I was awarded the Marine 2nd Division combat patch from that same general because we worked hand in hand with the Marine. I'm one of about 30 dudes I know who can wear a Marine combat patch and a combat action ribbon legally, or not, I guess not legally, within regulation. Anyways, this is enough tooting my horn. Let's talk about Labor Day. Does anybody have any idea what Labor Day is? Like, I really don't. So I typed up this little thing, copy pasted some of it because I'm a plagiarist. Labor Day, observed on the first Monday in September, is an annual celebration of the social and economic achievements of American workers. The holiday is rooted in late 19th century. Labor activists pushed for a federal holiday to recognize the many contributions workers have made to America's strength, prosperity, and well-being. Before it was a federal holiday, Labor Day was recognized by labor activists and individual states. After municipal ordinances were passed in 1885 and 1880, developed to secure state legislation. New York was the first state to introduce a bill, but Oregon was the first to pass a law recognizing Labor Day on February 21st, 1887. During 1887, four more states, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York, passed laws creating a Labor Day holiday. By the end of the decade, Connecticut, Nebraska, Pennsylvania had followed suit, and by 1934, 23 more states had adopted the holiday, and on June 28, 1894, Congress passed an act making the first Monday in September of each year a legal holiday. Well, I bet the people who fought to get Labor Day as a holiday would shit in their pants if they seen the lazy piece of dirt we got today. So right now, I watched a thing with Mike Rowe, the guy from Dirty Jobs, who was on Theo Vaughn's podcast the other day, and Theo was asked about uh, unemployment rate, and Mike Rowe says, we don't have an unemployment problem, we have a lazy problem. There's 4 million open jobs in America right now and 7 million unemployed males. There's your problem. You know, Mike said, there's no conversation. There's the problem. There's 4 million jobs and 7 million people. No one's trying. So, I love Mike Rowe. That dude's awesome. I actually watched a little thing about him too. He was talking about, like, he didn't have to do dirty jobs. Like, his family had money. They pay for his college or anything like that. He didn't have to, go out and do. He did it out of respect for his grandfather being. He says grandfather was a master of all trades. He could go out and build a wheel for his wagon. They'd come in and rewire the house, and then go out and help a horse in labor have its mare, or have its colt. He's like, my grandpa could do everything, and after watching that type of skill, he's like, I just, out of respect for him, I wanted to learn more, and I never really had to. He just wanted to. So cool story. Well, I'm done talking. What else we got? Nothing, right? Anybody got anything they want to talk about? So I have other topics empty. I was gonna put in there a bunch of shit about North Korea testing shit in the ocean, and China and America still doing or South Korea and America doing some sort of joint exercises still. Texas is still hot and has its own oil, and President Biden, I guess, is running for president again. We could talk about that because I thought for sure he was. I watched a video
How
of
do you
that.
how do you run for president as a potato?
Do what?
How do you run for president as a potato?
I don't get told to. I guess I don't know. They just like blew some hair in the sky and put him in a chair. I watched a video of him walking from his limousine to a building, and he got lost. And I'm not joking. He walked to the building, and the Secret Service agent standing at a T intersection, the sidewalk, and he says like, clearly goes, "This way, sir." And Biden salutes him or something dumb and just walked right by him. And then he like turns around and you can see him like talk on his thing like, "Hey, whatever." And then like two more Secret Service agents come and like Biden had walked around like the back edge of a building instead of just going in the front door. He had like walked. It was just, and I'm just like weird. I just don't understand. And I'm not Democrat
He's
or
out there
Republican or
balling.
nothing. Yeah, his brain is just like he's 147 years old. Here's what I don't understand. Federal law regulates that commercial airline pilots must retire at 65. That there's no possibility a person over 65 could possibly remotely safely operate an aircraft, right? They're talking about
Right.
how big is a 747? Say 300 seats, right? So they're saying that, well, actually, we have up here earlier in the deal, we have about a 747. Korean Airlines Flight 007. How many people did that hold? What?
Four to
Boeing
660 people.
Boeing 747 had 269 persons on board. So at 65 years old, your United States federal government says you can no longer fly an airplane, that there's no way you could possibly, like, there's not like a waiver, there's not a test you can take to say, nope, I'm still good. You're done at 65. But this dude's 142 running the country. Like, talk about some hypocrisy, right? Anyways, I guess he's running
I
again.
don't get
I just learned it today that he was running again. I truly assumed that he was done. Is Trump running again? Anybody know?
Yeah,
That's
he's
crazy.
set to.
That's crazy to me. Like,
I haven't followed any of his indictment stuff. Like I get little blips here and there about it and everything else, but he's supposedly still going. So more power to him.
whatever. Crazy. What about the guy from Florida, the governor, DeSantis or whatever?
No, I think last I heard, which I can't say it's true, I'll look it up now, but he bowed out basically to Trump.
Really? Because that's the dude I was gonna vote for, if anybody. The only reason I was gonna vote for him is because during all the COVID shit, he got up behind a podium and he said, "Oh, I got this memo here from the federal government that says we must shut down." And he's like, "Nah, eat a dick. We're not shutting down. We're Florida. We're doing our own thing." I'm like, "Dang, I like that guy. I'm in." I remember when Trump got elected. I'm like, "This is I live in the craziest country in the whole." We just elected a guy who received the Stone Cold Stunner. Like the rest of the world's gonna laugh at us. We're a joke.
Yeah.
We need. You know who General Mattis is? Mad Dog.
Yeah. Who doesn't know who that guy is?
A lot of people don't. Like 6 people, I think. Probably don't. Babe, do you know who General Mattis is? Yeah, she looked at me and grimaced and said,
You gotta say Mad Dog though.
"Do you know who
General Mad Dog.
General
Mattis.
Mad Dog Mattis is?" She grimaced and said, "No. Quit grimacing. You're gonna have permanent wrinkles there." Yeah, it's because you fucking make too many negative faces. You have
Well, I
here.
guess he's still running.
DeSantis is.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's who I'm voting for. That guy's stubborn, and he's not 114 years old. So I'm not even trying to have a political show, but that dude drove right past you in Iraq. Who? Mad Dog? Talk to me, cowbell. Hell yeah. So, at the risk of getting my show shut down because they think I'm calling for a coup, I'm not calling for a coup, but I'm going to say this. If there is one person who can save America, it's that dude. He is the only person who has the political and military pull like Julius Caesar, like Alexander the Great, like Napoleon. If that dude went to Washington and said, "We're taking over, let's run this shit," he would have 1 million former Marines behind him, 1 million former Army behind him. I mean, there is not a dude in the military who does not know that name, period. And all he has to do is put out one tweet, and he's got us. So if you're listening to Mad Dog, if you're one of my 4 viewers right now, tell us what to do, man. Looking for leadership. Always in a LAV 25, didn't have his helmet on, although dangerous it was. Yeah, I remember. Uh, well, he's the last true hero, right? He's the last General Patton. He's the last bad motherfucker. Period. I'll tell you that. Like we had General Petraeus. It was basically so you guys had Mad Dog in the Marines. We had Petraeus in the Army, and damn Petraeus looked like I mean, I don't even know. He was like the slicked hair to the side. He looked like Mad Men, like that dude from Mad Men. All right, gotta watch that show again. But yeah, Mad Dog looks fucking white hair, grizzly, gray, wrinkly. Like he rode hard and put away wet. That man is weathered. But he needs to run. I'd vote for him tomorrow. Not about it. But I've got nothing else to talk about. I need you guys to send me some ideas. So it says 4 viewers right now, which I'm sure four people that I know. There's a way to tell. Meat Shield, you can tell. You're a moderator. You can look and see who's in chat right now.
Yeah.
Got in here.
Top.
Anybody recognize? EU.
Cowbell. See, my viewers list is more than some
Yeah,
that
for
are here.
real. Some of them are. So Iceman told me some of these are bots, like the 01 Ella. If you click it, it takes you to that channel, and they're following like 800,000 people. So.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna chase down I'm not making $1 million. Actually, we're not any money off the stream. This is completely free and non-profit. Any dollars from. I need you guys to send in some topics. Is what I'm saying. Cowbell, Meat Shield, whoever else is out here. Maybe Cowboys watching today. I don't know. Stuff we want to talk about. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep talking about history. I get on some history and I'll talk forever. Especially Rome. Then you just watch a documentary. My shows. You gotta figure out something new. I don't know that much about sports. Can't talk about sports. You can only talk so much about NASCAR. Hockey, I'm fucking ready for hockey season. I love hockey.
Hunting season.
Oh, hunting season's definitely coming up. I told you I went dove hunting. Yep. Did.
Yes.
I literally only think I shot 8 shells and killed 3 birds. Recovered 2. The other one was. I got that shot on video, which I messed up the entire hunt. I recorded a lot of the hunt and I recorded all of our kills except for my camera was on mute the whole time. That makes for a boring ass hunting video if you don't get, especially shotgun hunting, you don't get no sound. So I'm like, I deleted it all. I was like, I'm done. I was so mad. I wore my helmet cam for 5.5 hours straight, dude. Like my head was swollen, hurt, and then I didn't have sound the entire time. Angry, but got a good setup. Got a good setup for deer hunting this year. I'm gonna try to go dove hunting Thursday or Friday. I want to go. Try to go out, get back out there when it's not so busy. The first 5 days of the season are just.
I do not know. Is there a time for that? Time of day?
Noon to sunset. You're allowed to hunt.
Well, I get off at noon, so I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, hit me up. Let me know. What day?
I don't know if I have to work. I won't know Friday. I won't know if I have to work Friday until Thursday morning. So.
Well, I'm going Friday for 100% fact. I've already got a hunting partner, so if you want to go, you can come with us.
All right.
Good time. But anyway, I think I'm done with the show. Can you find someone to read? Follow any channels? Let's see.
Nobody that's online right now.
I also have nobody online. What a crock.
And
Let's see here. Try. You guys rather watch Flight Sim or iRacing?
Let's say probably iRacing. Personally.
So I'm gonna flip us over here. We're gonna go raid someone called Fly guy only 773. You know how to set up a raid there, Meat Shield?
I don't actually. It's something you have to work me through someday.
All right, so yeah, and I'm
I'm a
working
streamer.
through it right now. In chat, do a backslash for your command, right?
Okay.
Do raid.
2 seconds. I just dropped something.
Uh-oh.
It's all good. Okay, raid.
Yep. And then do
Base or
yes, raid and then space. Fly guy only with capital F, G, and O. 773.
okay.
Once you hit enter, it'll say you're ready to raid, right?
Right.
All right.
Nope.
Didn't say it?
Nope. There it is. No.
All right, don't.
Oh, you said backslash.
I said slash because I didn't know which one. So all right, so that's what it is.
Okay.
Don't hit enter yet. Do it the right way and don't hit enter this time because I'm gonna do my ending credits. So
Fly guy.
all right, anybody, go check out this guy for a few minutes. Tell him Patriotic Veteran sent you. I have no idea who he is, so hopefully, he's a small channel. He's got 24 viewers, so hopefully we can get some mutual respect going and maybe he'll raid me back sometime or that. So here's the ending credits. Everybody checking in. Get a hold of me if you think you can help on the Royal Ride.